Hey everybody, this is the Fat Panda with another video. This is going to be a battle against a challenger named Tyvan. He was a gym leader back when we had the 17 gyms. He was actually the electric gym leader, which is one of the typings I use now, the psychic being the gym I was back when we had 17. So he wants a little bit of revenge, I bet, for the fact that I got his gym in the end, or at least the typing of his gym. I'm sure he graciously gave it up, though, because but I bet he's got at least a little bit of fight in him, or more so than usual, I bet. Anyway, I'm looking at his team, and his team is kind of actually it's pretty scary. Looking at it before I had actually battled, I was thinking, wow, that's a really good, that's actually a fairly solid Hail team. It's only got a couple different ice Pokemon, but he actually runs Rotom Frost, and, that's one of my favorite Rotom forms, as, bad or whatnot people say it is. It's, being Blizzard being its only real good ice attack. But I like his team a lot, so I'm a little scared of it. I thought it might be scarier in a singles match, but I was potentially wrong. It's a very scary team in a doubles match. So let's see how he does. So there's nothing really on his team that prevented me from opening with my Medicham Cresselia combo that I've used actually in every battle so far. He opens with Gengar Metagross. I wasn't sure if he was going to open with his Bulmasnow or not. I thought he might, since I don't have any ice types, and any residual hail damage would be pretty good. However, I'm forced to fake out the Metagross, since Gengar can't be affected by it, and he was going to Shadow Ball my Cresselia, I was fairly sure. I was kind of worried that he might have like a Ghost Gem or something, because that may have taken out my Cresselia. I actually haven't run anything on that, but I have a feeling it could. Instead, he's running a Life Orb set, so it's a little worrying. I know he can actually one-hit KO my Reuniclus if I'm forced to bring it out to set up a Trick Room later. But I do get the Trick Room off since Cresselia is incredibly bulky, and he brings his Gengar out, which is actually a good move in the end for his Bulmasnow. I'd actually set up, instead of Rock Sliding this turn, I was going to set up a Psycho Cut on the Gengar just to get rid of it immediately. Instead, I take a Bullet Punch, which Medicham handles fairly well, and aim a Psycho Cut at Bulmasnow, who is pretty bulky. He must be invested in health or defense somewhere, because he takes out like a champ and survives it, which Gengar wouldn't have done since it had a Life Orb, and it had already taken a little bit of damage. So I take a decent amount of damage here, and my team's looking not too hot right now. So this turn I actually decided to switch things up. I know if I stayed in, they were just going to get reamed. So I actually switch out my Medicham. I bring in Magnezone. I was expecting to get him to use like a Bullet Punch, or something, Bullet Punch, Seed Bomb, or something weird like that to finish off my Medicham. And instead, I actually set up my Magnezone to get completely destroyed, as you'll see when this turn goes through, because the Bulmasnow uses Protect, which I thought was good initially. So I was like, oh, well, good, good thing I didn't attack it, because it would have been worthless. And I just Lunar Dance straight off with my Cresselia. But he actually goes for the Protect Earthquake combo, which really scared me, because this is the first true double combo I have seen so far of all my challengers. And it's the first time I've actually seen a true double strategy show up. And with it and the residual hail damage, I actually lose my Magnezone right after switching them in. The only plus is that I guess Earthquake couldn't have killed Cresselia anyway, because it's got Levitate. But, the plus is I managed to switch out my Medicham, and with Lunar Dance, I bring it in completely healthy right now, along with my Electros, to try to counteract this ridiculous, the ridiculous Protect Fake Out combo. So, I have a fully healthy Medicham again, which is really nice. He always ends up doing so much for my team, whether it's just multiple fake outs or, massive damage with his attacks. So he goes for the protect again. He gets 2 protects in a row, so he gets a little bit lucky there. Fortunately, I landed up a fake out at the Metagross, and then I was going to use a Rock Slide with my Electros. It's going to do a little bit of damage to Metagross, but not very much, and almost no protects, so it survives yet another turn. Can't seem to get rid of it. So in that turn, I actually think I take more damage with my own attacks than I did to him. So this turn, I know my Trick Room's about to run out, so I actually just straight up switch out to my Reuniclus. And then he actually switches out as well. He takes his Abomasnow out, takes out his Terrakion. He goes for the Bullet Punch on Electros, which is going to do almost no damage at all, because he is resistant to it. And go for the Rock Slide. I'm glad I actually used Rock Slide this turn, because it's going to pop the Air Balloon that Terrakion is holding. And it does crit, not that that means much in this case. But I pop the Air Balloon, which is nice, because then Metagross, if he Earthquakes, he's going to take out the Terrakion, for sure. And so it would be a clean kill. So I'd be forced to do something else next turn. So I lose my Trick Room here, so I know I have to use Trick Room with Reuniclus this turn. He goes for the Close Combat on my Electros. He gets the crit. I don't think it particularly mattered, but it was kind of disappointing seeing a crit there, but I'm pretty sure Terrakion would have taken him out. And then he goes for the Earthquake, which is going to actually take out his Terrakion and only do a little bit of damage to Reuniclus, so that ended up being actually really good for me. I'm not sure really why he lined up an Earthquake there. It wouldn't have hurt my Electros if he survived the close combat, since he's got Levitate, and it was going to, totally destroy his Terrakion no matter what. So my Reuniclus takes it like a champ, sets up another Trick Room, which is good. I go and then I send out my Marowak, who's never really had much time to shine in this team, because I feel like, Medicham or Electros do his job better, at least right now. But I bring him out here. I'm pretty sure he can take a Stab Ice Shard from Mamoswine. So I'm not too worried about what attacks they do this turn, because I know I'm just going to totally destroy both of them with my attacks this turn. So I set up, because Reuniclus is slower than Marowak normally, it does go first, which I planned for. And it goes for the Psychic, which takes out the Mamoswine. And then I actually sacrifice my Reuniclus here in an Earthquake. I did this on purpose because I needed the free switch. I needed to be able to get Medicham in safely, and I didn't think that he'd be knocking out either of these, or he'd be knocking out my Reuniclus before he knocked out my Marowak. So I just used Earthquake there. I cleaned the entire field that turn, and now I can get a free switch with Medicham and Kobe against whatever he brings out right now. This is the first time, I think, in any battle I've actually been behind. It's my 2 versus his 3 left. He finally brings out his Rotom F. He goes for the Protect, which I was kind of expecting, and I lined up a Fake Out on the Rotom instead. And I did set up a Rock Slide, I believe, yep, just to see what I could get. Because I knew it would take out a Abomasnow if he didn't Protect, and do a decent amount of damage to the Rotom. It actually does take it out. The Ice typing is so bad defensively. It feels like every important type hits it for crazy damage. So now he's just down to his, 3rd health, the Abomasnow, and Gengar. But the Trick Room is up, and so I know right now I've won the battle unless crazy misses start happening. I just line up a dual Rock Slide with both of them. That means almost definitely Abomasnow is going to fall unless there's some sort of hacks miss. Gengar's going to fall here too. But none of that happens. I do get, you know, my accuracy doesn't go crazy, and I managed to take him down. But this has actually been a really, you know, this was quite a surprising battle. I'm actually really glad I won the first battle, because now I know what his team can do. I wasn't ever expecting, you know, the Earthquake Protect or the Air Balloon Terrakion. And those are all really surprised me, but now that I know they're there, I feel a lot more confident the next time he comes at me. But, I mean, I never know. He's got 2 Pokemon I haven't seen yet, and they could take anybody's place, and he could come at me with something completely different next time. But I'm just glad I won this one. So, yeah, it's a really good challenge by Tyvan. You know, showed him, actually I didn't really show him anything about what the electric type could do in this time, because his Magnezone just got my Magnezone got trashed, and my Electros was fairly ineffective, so that was a pretty embarrassing show from the electric side. But overall, I won. You know, I'm pretty proud of it, so I'll wait for his challenge whenever he comes at me again. And that's about it, I guess. So, this is the Fat Panda signing out for this video.